Hello everyone, hope you're all doing well. Hito here, and I will be telling you some of people's confusing weird stories and encounters that still baffled them, so they shared them online. If you have a story to share, feel free to do so in the comments section for a chance to be featured in some of the next videos. And thank you for listening, liking and sharing. Let's start. Story 1. When I was about 12 years old, I went up to Lake Tahoe with my friend and his parents, who had a condo in Incline Village. One day, the two of us are walking to the bowling alley and cross a street in a crosswalk. Right before we get to the curb, a car comes really close to hitting us. All of a sudden, we are both up on the curb, like we were lifted a few feet. We both looked at each other strangely. Did you jump? No. Did you? No. We spent the next hour kind of dumbfounded. It didn't feel like a shove or any use of force. We were still in the street, then we weren't. Story 2. When I was in college, a drunk dude fell from a third-floor balcony and got up and walked away like it was nothing. Seriously, one of the weirdest, freakish things I've ever seen in my life. Edit, for those asking, University of Southern California, circa 2009. Story 3. Had a dream that I got a phone call saying my brother that I haven't seen in 10 years had died. 2 days later, I got a call that he actually had died. Story 4. I'm a firefighter and we got a call for an overdose around 3 am to a rough part of our district in the middle of winter. Unfortunately, the patient was long gone and her dealer or whatever found her like that when he dropped some stuff. As we were packing up our stuff, mind you, this is an absolutely trashed mobile home, I hear something down the hall that said, "Lights." I asked my partner if he said anything as it was just him and I cleaning up, and he said no. I walked to the far end of the trailer where I heard it and shine my flashlight. I get a reflection out of the window. They have a small tool shed and it had a flickering light. It piqued my interest, so my partner and I go out there. We hear crying and notice the door is padlocked. We cut it, and this little 6-year-old girl was in there. She said her mom puts her in there when she gets mad at her. She said she got scared when she heard the sirens and didn't know what to do. To this day, I have no idea what happened or where the voice came from, but I'll take the win on it. Edit, a couple people wondering about what happened after. My partner and I took her to the children's hospital closest to us, and we wrote our report and ate chips and a sandwich we took from the lounge, while they called a social worker. She was a really sweet girl. The voice was not a little girl voice. I 100% thought it was my partner since it sounded like a guy. Story 5. I used to fence. The sport, not stolen goods. I was at a tournament and had just started a bout against a competitor. You win the bout by being the first to 5 points. I score what I believe to be the first point, but the official indicates the match is over and I've won. I stood there confused for a second, but my opponent seems to agree and salutes and approaches for a handshake, so I go along with it. I check the scorecard and it says I've won 5-2. Totally lost probably 4 or 5 minutes of time. Hasn't happened since, to the best of my knowledge, but it's been 20 years and I still wonder what happened.